is Philips, which has announced a 4% fall in first quarter sales, which came in at 3.9 billion euros. The Dutch health technology company announced it will increase prices in response to surging inflation. Increase prices, ladies and gentlemen. Again, pressure on clients, pressure on the end user. Let's speak to Frans van Houten, who is the CEO of Philips, a man that I've known, gosh, over a decade. Frans, we've been talking to you, and I've got to say, let's talk in the round at the moment before we go into the nitty-gritty of your results as well. Do you think things have ever been tougher, given the huge number of factors that you're talking about already in your announcement today?
You're quite right. There are a lot of moving parts and factors to take into account. But let's start with the customer. We see continued demand from hospitals and consumers for the Philips innovations. To unpack that a bit, we saw 5% order growth in the quarter, which brings our order book to 30% higher than same time last year. In demand, MRI scanners, image-guided therapy, healthcare informatics, as hospitals need to deal with more patients and also are looking for productivity gains. At the same time, consumer demand was strong. We saw double-digit growth in oral care, and overall our personal health business was able to grow by 8%. So I think that's the good news, and it sets us up well for the full year. Now, as you said, yes, there's a lot of moving parts, and we do see, of course, the continued effect of supply chain challenges. We have people in Philips that are battling that every day. We came through that in a reasonable way in the first quarter, slightly ahead of the guidance that we gave in January for Q1. So I'm not unhappy with that. We just need to do it again and again and again as we go into Q2 and Q3. And yeah, then with China, you could say even risks are potentially increasing.
Frans, I've enjoyed watching your journey, the transformation. I've been to Eindhoven. I've seen the old sites. I've seen some of the new sites as well. But I guess what some shareholders want to know is why your shares aren't more counter-cyclical, given everything that you've done to transform this company. And it's been a monumental effort over your decade plus in charge as well. But your shares have come down from around about 50 euros to 28 euros. Why aren't they more resilient, given all those factors that you and I look at on a daily basis?
Look, 95% of Philips is performing really well. I think everybody, the shareholders, the analysts, are focused on our big recall in the sleep and respiratory area, which reflects about 5% of the company. We are in the middle of a recall towards over 5 million patients. In my book, we are progressing well with that recall. In the meantime, we have already produced over 2.2 million units to support the patients out there. But it will take us the whole year to complete this recall in a good way. And I think this is what is holding shareholders back and is depressing the share price at this time.
Sorry, Frans, and I think we can have a healthy disagreement about that as well. The recall has been said back in January that it will cost 725 million euros as well. That doesn't work for me, that 20 billion euros has come off the share price, give or take, on the back of a 750 million recall.
Yeah, but what I didn't mention, but is implicit, that there is also potential litigation that people need to are unable to estimate at this time. So I think that is creating an overhang, and I leave it to the market to judge, how big that overhang should be. I am laser focused on first completing the recall, preparing ourselves very well for whatever litigation is coming to us, and in the meantime, order intake is strong, revenues are coming through, we are able to deal with the challenges on the supply chain, at least in the first quarter, that went reasonably well. So we will come through this period. I'm convinced of that.
I've nothing for respect for what you've been doing at your company for a long time as well. But Lisa Clive, analyst at Bernstein, said this was a management credibility issue, saying the recall was a bit sloppy as well. Are you under pressure in your position as CEO, Frans?
As I said, we are laser focused on resolving the issue. And I feel very much encouraged by the confidence that our customers are giving us. They like our innovations across the board, which translates in now already a 12 months moving average order growth of 6%. And so I think by that standard, it's going well. And I completely acknowledge that we need to get through this recall and deal with the litigation so that that overhang on the share price can be resolved.
Let me just squeeze in one last point. Then you mentioned about the strong order book as well. How concerned are you that inflation and other factors are just going to erode your margin targets in the face of what we've discussed?
I think inflationary pressures are very real, and we see that ranging from labor to shipping to components. But inflationary pressures is something we can do, take actions on. And on the one hand, we are having to raise prices to our customers. And on the other hand, we can also still, as a large company, tighten the belt, be more frugal on cost, and thereby find compensation for the kind of 2.5% inflation that we are currently see coming through.